Hi, everybody. We're coming to you live from Singapore, but live recording. We are those two AI gals. I have with me April Ann Fadallan-Piette. She's that great lady behind this amazing business. And I am Dina Alsagoff, and I help SMEs with their digital troubles or sorrows. We've decided to come together and talk about AI because we notice that there are a lot of issues in moving forward with SMEs nowadays with AI. There's a lot of things that need to be started because not only is it important for your business, but we need to also comply with what's happening now in the landscape of businesses worldwide. And let me introduce you to April Ann. Hi, April Ann.
Hello. Hi, Dina. Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining us in this live or recorded video.
I've recorded.
Live recorded. Yeah, thanks for that introduction. I'm April Ann, and I've worked for many years in big corporations, problem solving using AI. And now I'm here to bridge that gap for the small, medium enterprises. And that's why I've put up with Scale. So we wanted to share with you what we have seen in the industry and why we think it is imperative or very important for the small, medium enterprises to act now and get started with their AI adoption. And so maybe I'll get started with just few glaring numbers that we've seen in Southeast Asia. Small, medium enterprises comprise about 40% of the GDP. But do you know that only 4.2% have actually adopted AI? And you could see why a lot of the governments in Southeast Asia, Singapore, Malaysia, who are at the forefront, are actually pushing for AI adoption because of this gap. And we've also seen in the recent report of World Economic Forum regarding future of jobs that about 40%, or to be exact, 39% of current jobs will become obsolete 5 years from now. So those numbers basically tell us why we should get started with our AI journey. And as a business owner, this should tell you that we need to get started because what does it mean if we don't act now? It is already considered late. And not that we are spreading unnecessary fear, but this is just a reality check for us business owners. Yeah. So, Dina, if you have anything to add.
No, agree with everything because it's something that I've seen in many of the conferences that I've been attending to since the start of 2025. Lots of people excited about AI, excited about what it can do for their business. But to start, yes, you're very correct. There is a fear, but it's an unnecessary fear, I believe, because if you're a small, medium enterprise and you're concerned, not only for your business, but of course, the all important ROI, you really have to take action now. And with this program, those two AI gals, we'd like to be able to help you get over the hump, help you with your challenges of entering AI into your business, integrating it into your business so that it makes and gives you significant opportunities for growth and efficiency. Obviously, April Ann, I think a lot of people in SMEs face several critical concerns with adopting AI, right? There's the point of data privacy and security, which is very well founded. There's so many articles in the newspapers, big reports that, hey, so and so went down because of data this and data that. Integrating AI into your SME can be transformative, but it's natural to have those concerns, right? But to build confidence in AI while safeguarding sensitive information, what do you suggest that these SMEs can take as precautionary measures before or when they're using AI?
Fundamentally, the first thing that they need to do is have awareness of the technology, right? It doesn't mean that you need to be a data scientist or you need to be able to code and everything. But what's really needed is for you to have that critical thinking that you yourself would apply in your businesses. Have that critical thinking when you are dealing with this technology. Take on your business hat. And every time this technology comes up with certain results, you always, as the domain expert, as the subject matter expert in the industry, you should always ask the critical questions that basically guards the interests of your company, the interests of your people, your own interests, right? Having a good awareness of what the technology does, what are the risks that it can bring to your business is very first thing that you need to have. Secondly, I think having some open mindedness on adopting change is very important, right? Although there could be fear and some doubts about the technology, as a business owner, you need to be able to have some open mind to at least check it out. What can it do, right? I think fundamentally you need to have that mindset first. And then I think the next few things is practically how do you go about it? And I've always talked about starting with a problem first. So you shouldn't start with the technology or the solution, rather start with what is your goal? What does your company need to achieve, say in the next 6 months, in the next 1 year, in the next 5 years? What are the pain points that you experience on a daily basis in your operations with fulfilling the services for your customers? I think that should be the starting point. Once you have that problem solving mindset in place, then the solution, AI should be an enabler. It shouldn't be the result, right? Yeah. So I think those three things at first should be, as a business owner, that you should have in mind before you get started into your AI adoption. Even in the AI Readiness Index, the Singapore government has put in place. The very first thing that you would want to consider is organizational awareness. And then after that, ethical governance, infrastructure readiness, data readiness. But the very first thing has to be the organizational readiness. Because if the organization is not ready, then AI would be difficult to be integrated and the potential would be difficult to be maximized.
All valid points. And following on, once you've established what are your goals for your company, what's your end game for your business, I think the next part is consider not only yourself, but also the people who are under you, either your employees or your co-partners. Get yourself educated.
Hmm.
Education, the more knowledge, less fear. And the thing is, you'll be able to decide what works for you and what doesn't. AI can be many solutions, or maybe even big problem makers, unless, as you said earlier, you understand what do you want what do you want it to perform for you, because a well-informed team is a critical defense for all of this. And you also need to consider, when I'm speaking about defense, I'm also talking about data security. A lot of people think that, oh, there's so many reports of this being infiltrated. If you conduct comprehensive audits, I think you will definitely get something out of it, and you can also prevent things from happening. And then you also implement robust data governance policies. I think we're very lucky. Just for everyone's information, April, Ann, and I are based in Singapore, so we have very good government policies as far as AI is concerned, because we want to make sure that people, the business landscape in general in Singapore should be protected and should know what can protect themselves from data breaches and data attacks. What do you think, April Ann?
Yes, I agree. I think we are lucky that Singapore is actually at the forefront of this and has become one of the AI hubs in Asia. And because of that, we are more advanced, I would say, at least from what I have seen in practice. We're more advanced when it comes to thinking around guardrails, AI safety, and but we know that this is not the same for other neighboring countries, but we know that there are work that is being done to get them up to speed and to make sure that the that we are maximizing the potential of AI, but at the same time, we are, keeping everyone's information or data safe and private. Maybe I also just want to circle back on a few things on what is stopping. Apart from the fear on data privacy and cybersecurity, I think a few things that's also holding back the small medium enterprises in adopting AI would be talent shortage. And this is very apparent, right? Because one, naturally, the good talents out there would want to work for bigger companies who are able to give them better pay, especially it's quite well known out there that AI and data is the hottest job in the market. On top of the lack of AI talent would be the cost of implementing some of this technology, right? Some of these platforms. And our small, medium enterprises would be very concerned about spending in something like this. Their concern at the end of the day is their bottom line. This is why I think it's also very important that we emphasize on the fact that our governments, especially in Southeast Asia, is promoting AI adoption. They're even providing grants for small medium enterprises to incentivize them to adopt AI. To me, this is very important that we need to create this awareness for the businesses, because if they really want to adopt this, they're not alone in this journey. The government is actually giving them that, incentivizing them to adopt the technology. I think it's also good for the small medium businesses to know that there are people or there are businesses like your business, Dina, and my business, who are actually focused on helping small medium businesses to get up to speed, ramp up on adopting their AI. We are here to provide the know-how and also to give them a strategy-based adoption of the technology. I think what needs to be really established is that whoever we'll be working with has the commitment to actually go through this journey or change with us, because AI, although it has a lot of potential, it's not magic, right? I always hear this, oh, okay, AI is magic, so it will bring me everything that I need. Actually, AI, although it is a powerful technology, it needs a lot of work and a lot of deep diving into the businesses so that you can maximize its value. So I'll pause there. Just I thought of bringing it out there that
Oh,
there's help. There's help that is
absolutely.
available. They just need to decide that they want to get started with their journey, and they will be committed on going through this transformation, because it needs a lot of work. I think the very first work that needs to be done is the mindset shift. It's not even the technology, but actually it's the mindset shift. Yeah, so I'll pause there. Over to you.
You're saying everything I feel in my heart. Yes, everybody, all you SMEs out there, help is on the way. Help is here. You just have to ask for it. And again, I repeat, we are living in a great country that supports us SMEs with so much support. I have not seen it, it's like an unprecedented support line that the government is giving everyone here in Singapore. And April Ann and I do encourage you, take advantage of that support, because
Mm.
we can only benefit from this. Remember, it's AI is a tool. We hold this tool every day in our hands, the mobile phone. When the first iPhone came out, we made the personal commitment to make it useful to our lifestyles, right? We can do the same thing with AI, but we need to understand the software. We need to understand, but even more importantly, as April Ann pointed out, we need to know our end game. We need to know our goals and be very clear. This is not something you can be wishy-washy, because remember, if you give a computer also the wrong information, it's going to chunk out garbage to you. And then it's useless. And then you're going to say, oh, it doesn't work. It's not magic. It's not a magic pill. Educate yourself. There's so much free information there. But of course, be cautious and be careful where your sources of truth, your sources of information come from. And yeah, I think we're coming to the top of the not hour. We're not going to be talking here for an hour, just enough for you to have some takeaways to consider. Please do take the message out. Change the mindset. Do consider adopting and integrating AI into your business for your success. Anything to add to that, April Ann?
Yeah, so I think I'll just end with just this one number that I have seen. So I'm a numbers person, so we'll end it with a number. So I saw a report by Kearney that actually by 2030, AI is supposed to add 1 trillion USD business. I think that's enough motivation for all of us, everyone in the industry, big companies, small companies. There should be enough motivation for all of us to actually get started into this journey. Even just getting maybe 1% of that 1 trillion, getting the market share of that would be a huge difference. It can make a huge difference for your businesses in 5 years' time. So I want to end with that because I think it's quite encouraging. As Dina mentioned, if you are convinced and yet you're not sure where to get started, feel free to drop us a note in LinkedIn. And we're happy to share what we know, discuss strategy with you on how you can get started with your AI adoption.
Yes, we'll be coming back with another episode of Those Two AI Gals. We'd love to hear your comments about this initial blast, although it's a live recording. We will go live in the next one. Help us help others by sharing. What are you going through with your company? What would you like us to talk about? I think that would be a great idea for us to engage together with you in our LinkedIn community. And you can definitely DM us directly on LinkedIn individually if you have any further questions. From us today, it's April 1. Happy April month and April Ann.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining me here today.
Thank you very much. This is very exciting and scary at the same time. But thank you for bringing me on board on this. I'd love to hear from everyone what you think we should be covering in some of these discussions. We are not experts in data science or AI. We are not, but we have been in the business for many years working with big companies solving problems, that's what we said. And we've seen how this technology can enable a lot of these companies and actually achieve real valuable business. So maybe we can help you with that. So do let us know what you think, what you want to learn, what you would like us to share more. And yeah, happy to hear from everyone. Thank you.
Thank you.
Happy April Fools.
Bye.
Bye.